Illinois. Gotta really make sure once the stream is over that I can do that. That I can go replace my phone screen and have some other stuff I have to do. Yeah, I gotta buy some stuff for the room. Like I said, I've been waiting on the acoustic panels. Not that I bought them, but I'm like waiting so I have extra time so I can measure out, you know, I gotta measure out where to cut out all this stuff because of the guitars and my shelf and all that stuff. So I gotta do that. Then I have some other stuff here that I have to buy on Amazon, so I gotta wait for it to get shipped. It's a whole thing. So everything's kind of all over the place right now, a little bit. Kind of. I'm being dramatic. It's not that serious, but it is messing with my timing and my schedule and all that, so I gotta get that sorted. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if once I get that stuff done, some other thing that I forgot about is going to pop its head. I'm going to have to take care of that. Not too sure what, obviously, or else I would have already taken care of it, but tends to happen. Oh, finally I get to do this thing that I've been planning. Some other thing just pops its head out of nowhere, and you're like, oh, gotta take care of that now. Alright. Very least, at least we finally got our medal. Not gonna see that money for a while, but that's alright. That's kind of how the game goes. Must have spent upwards of $1,000 just on continues today. Ridiculous. Got plenty of opportunity though before the next Chimps game to make back that money. Got all the easy and medium games to do and some of the hard games, so plenty of opportunity there. Cool. There we go. Not quite the black border yet on that map, but we're getting there. Just about there. Have cash. So with Corvus, I was thinking this wouldn't be a problem since Corvus has that infinite range. He auto attacks all the time. Seems like it's going to be a bit more work than I thought, though. Beginning of the game probably won't be too bad. this is how it goes all the time. Just start monkey and tack shooter. It's fine. And Corvus can probably carry us through to round 40. But after that, we're going to have a pretty solid setup to support it, I think. Maybe if we put Corvus at like the front here, we can make some good stuff happen with his ability and using a lot of his spells. I feel like otherwise we wouldn't have enough mana to support using spells for the entire game, though. Maybe I'll try that. I'll just put him at the front here. I'll try to use as much of his magic as possible. Just ran in the corner on his buy price. Put you right there. That way we can spam this right here as much as possible. And we can use nourishment to level him up a little bit faster. Alright, so we need camo, we need lead. Should be good with these towers here for that. Go ahead and use one nourishment. Save up for the next one. Alright. If we can't get lead for this round coming up, can use Corvus for that. It's fine. Looks like we'll have enough though. Alright, looking pretty good here. Now, I always forget what we could use for money in half cash. I do remember that the farm's usually not worth it because it just doesn't pay for itself. Unless you buy it really early. So, Ben is a good money maker. The Buccaneer, I'm not too sure about. I know it's good damage. Maybe a little bit of... So it's a bit of a discount, really. It's a discounted tower. So that's fine. Other than that, though, I can't really remember what we could use. as money makers. Because just about everything else doesn't make enough money to pay for itself. Real unfortunate. You know what? I think let's go ahead and just start filling some Buccaneers here. Let's try to make as much money back as we can. We'll keep an eye on the one. That's what, 2,500, 2,600, let's say. 2,600, and we'll calculate everything else. If the 2,600 even gets paid for itself. Shoulder pain does not want to go away today. I actually had to stay home the other day from work. It got pretty bad. I always do this motion that you see me do. It helps me like roll it around, keep it active. And sometimes I try to talk through it, like I'm trying to talk through it now. But for some reason, as I move it, it feels like I can feel the nerve in there. I'm gonna be gross for a second, so I apologize. It feels like the nerve in there that is being pinched is somewhat responsible for the movement and for the sensation that I feel in my arm and down the side here. I should be talking to a doctor about this, but I'm just gonna be gross because this game is not too interesting right now. So I say that because whenever I move my shoulder and try to roll it out and everything, it kind of does this weird thing where, I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm at work, right? Let's say I'm at work and I'm doing something with my hands. I have to lift something. Not too heavy, but not like a sheet of paper, right? So, let's say I'm picking up like a chair or a desk. And if I feel that stiffness and pain in my shoulder, I'll try to roll it out. But for some reason, like I said, that nerve feels like it's connected to a lot of other stuff in my body at the same time. So at that moment, whenever I do try to roll out my shoulder, it sometimes feels like it can affect my breathing, and it can affect my fine motor skills of my fingers. So like, again, I'll give you another example. If I'm trying to do something in the game, like if I'm doing some kind of I don't know, let's say I'm using a controller. It's a bit of a better example. If I'm using a controller and I'm playing something like Silk Song, like you'll see later, sometimes I'll be doing something which requires some kind of focus or skill or something like that, and then I move my shoulder, and then for like a split second, very, very, very short split second, it feels like I lose control of my fingers for a second. So like I'll be doing something, and then all of a sudden I shift my shoulder a little bit, and then it's like, oh, just for like half a second or something like that. Maybe not even that. it just feels like I can't move my my appendages for a little bit, and then a split second later it comes back. So I'm like, well, maybe I feel less pain and all that, but like it does get inconvenient. It does get inconvenient. That's about the worst of it, though. If I'm doing something, it starts to flare up, I have to move. Kind of interrupts whatever I'm doing, in a way. So that's about the worst that it gets, but yeah, I don't know. I just gotta go to a doctor about it. And there goes the rest of my money that I made back in that last game. Low key, you could say that was kind of a good example of what I was talking about, in a sense. Because, yeah, that time, I wasn't necessarily playing badly or distracted, but I was talking. I was talking because of my shoulder, so, like, I don't know, you could extrapolate that. Imagine it on a smaller time scale, and that's pretty much how it feels. Oh, let me just take care of this real quick. Oh, you're dead. You're dead. You're done. That's how it is. Again, I really should be going to the doctor about it. It's just one of those things to be put on top of everything else that I have to do. I gotta go change my primary care doctor. Pretty sure I talked about this last week. I gotta change where I go to the doctor. I got to change, or not change, but I've got to order myself a new insurance card with the new information on it. Then, once all of that has been taken care of, then I gotta go to the doctor for the first appointment. And who knows what they're gonna say by then. Oh, your schedule wasn't busy enough? Well, now you gotta come in twice a week for physical therapy and follow-up appointments. And if it's bad enough, I mean, if they find something bigger than that, that's just kind of dormant under my skin, that's a whole problem. That's like urgent care, light surgery kind of stuff. I really just don't want to do it, man. Really don't. Really just don't want to do all that. And we lost again. Holy crap. Wow. What is wrong with me today? What is going on? What is going on with me today? What is going on? Is it Corvus? Like, did I pick the wrong hero or something? Like, just don't know what's going on. Starting to piss me off. You know what? Let me write that down. What I was just talking about. Because if I don't, I'm going to forget. You're going to hear me complain about it later. Like, I really think if I go check this out, they're going to have me, I already know they're going to have me do, well, I don't really know, but I already know they're going to have me do blood work, probably, because it's been like 2 years since I've gotten blood work done. They're going to have me do blood work, they're going to probably order some kind of urine sample or like a hair sample or something like that. It's not bad enough that they would require a stool sample. That's kind of a GI tract infection kind of thing. So I'm not worried about that, but it'd be like, oh, well, we need all this lab work done. You gotta get your plasma looked at. That's gonna be like a week to look at that. You gotta, like I said, start doing the physical therapy and taking painkillers maybe. So if you don't do that, then that'll be bad. I just don't want to do it. Don't want to. Let me see if I can actually do some of that now. Maybe this isn't wise, considering how many times I've just lost by not paying attention to the game, but let me see if I can do any of this, like, now. Make sure we're not losing. And I think we lost last time. What did we lose on? Like round 78? 75, something like that. We probably just need more DPS. Maybe this time I'll get a farm early so we can have that payoff. Etienne's good enough to cover himself for a bit. I thought Corvus would be like... I thought Corvus was going to be like this, where it's like, not the strongest attack in the game, but not the weakest. Like Pat or something like that, or Geraldo. But seems like, honestly, Corvus's main attack with no spells, honestly, may be a little bit worse than Etienne's, because I mean, Etienne is notorious for having a not great default attack, but I mean, I think I'd rather have this than the spirit by itself, to be honest with you. Alright, let's check this out. Got a chat bot pulled up here. See if I can't do anything. There's a camo detection. Almost forgot about the farm. Let's just get that now. Alright. Keep that going. See about talking to somebody or maybe a chat bot so I can change my primary care provider, because this will probably be a bigger issue if I don't do it. Change PCP, yes please. I need to verify your identity. How would I like to do that? Use your member ID or social security number. Hello. OSOS. Osos. Hello. Alright, this time I'm actually going to go ahead and buy the farm early. Because last time we were able to buy Corvus with no upgrades, which is about as much as a farm, so let's go ahead and do that. We'll save up for Etienne after that. Okay. To change your primary care provider, you'll need to use our specified tool. I'll provide you with a direct link to that. Once you access it, you can search for a new primary care based on location. Oh, okay. Okay, so maybe it is that easy, and I'm just experiencing like medical fear or something like that.